The title of my paper, as earlier mentioned, is Tokenism and Women in the Nigerian Organization, a focus on selected Nigerian university. The term tokenism has been employed in this research to refer to it's one of them. The aim of every university is to advance knowledge through teaching and community service. As such, this process, from all indication, includes women in all ramifications. The available statistics has indicated that women are viable, they are capable to compete with men in the Nigerian university system, yet they are not well represented. Many studies have also revealed that in Nigeria, the rate of women with higher university qualification and also that are competent in all ramifications are at close quarter with their male counterparts. As such, this study therefore examines the numerical proportion of women to men in some of the Nigerian university system. The study assessed factors that are responsible in the Nigerian university system. The study also examined challenges confronting women in the Nigerian university as a result of this tokenism. And finally, the study examined the responses of the women themselves to the situation. That is, to the situation of tokenism. Now, in the literature that are traditionally organized men, northern Nigerian, where most positions are assumed to be meant for men. Some of the scholars have also been able to discover that people's perception of women commitment in workplace is an example of not being a good wife, and it's also an example of not being a caring mother. So once a woman is becoming too dedicated to her job, it's as if she's not going to be a good wife, as well as not going to be a caring mother. Some of the literature review also discover that women are mostly placed on a low status position in a bid to compensate them, which is a form of tokenism. Further, in the problem statement and justification, Yoda, Pezzi, Oron, Egli, and others have also been able to discover that some of the challenges confronting women range from gender inappropriateness, which refer to gender stereotyping. The moment women are progressing in place of work, they are perceived as a threat, and as such, they are discriminated against. There's also this problem of expectation, status expectation. women are not seen as those who can give the best. And as such, there is this exclusion.
Sorry, Bashir, I think if you turn off your camera, the audio will be much better. Just turn off the camera.
I should turn it off.
Turn off your camera.
Okay, let me do that. Let me do that.
Okay, and now you present now. It should be better.
Okay, I should go on?
Yes.
All right. So, women are perceived as a threat, and as such, they are discriminated against. There is this issue, as I mentioned, status expectation problem. Women are perceived somehow that they are not, they may not be given the best, and as such, these exclusions in terms of organizational decision making, lack of recognition. Now, finally, in the literature review, there is this responses of women themselves to the Tokenism issue, to the Tokenism status quo. Most of the scholars have been able to establish that some of the attitudes of women also have also been encouraging the act of Tokenism. Now, this research was actually carried out in 2 universities in northern Nigeria, namely Federal University Gusau, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University. Both of them are situated in the northwest of Nigeria. One is situated in Katsina, one is situated in Gusau. This research was actually anchored on the Roosevelt Most counter-research theory in a book, Men and Women of the Corporation. Specifically, I employed the chapter named Some Effect of Proportions on Group Life, Skewed Sex Ratios and Responses to Token Women. In this theory, counter-examined the implication of interaction within an organization and how they are affected by the different numbers of people for different social types. She focused on the groups with fewer gender ratios and also higher numerical proportion of men and smaller numerical proportion of women, who she described as token. Like I mentioned, this research was actually carried out in 2 parts of Nigeria, the Northwest, namely the Federal University Gusau and Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University. Both of them are located in the Northwest of Nigeria. This research was actually conducted as an exploratory research design, and it employed qualitative method using the in-depth interview as well as the key informant interview. These 2 instruments were used to collect primary data from the respondents. The in-depth interview involves engaging 15 purposively selected academic staff, each from the university, from the 2 universities. The key informant interview involves engaging 5 purposively selected head of the department from each of the 2 universities. The following are the research questions. What are the numerical proportions of women to men in the university? What are the factors responsible for the numerical proportion of women to men in the university? What are the challenges confronting women in the university as a result of the Tokenism? Then finally, what are the responses of women to the situations? Now, these are the findings. That 20% of the membership in the 2 universities, the percentages of women to men are few, and it shows unequal representations of the genders. Second, the factor responsible for the numerical proportion of women to men in the organization. This research was able to establish that the notion that women may not have the aggressiveness, the courage, the tenacity to separate family responsibility from the challenges factor responsible for the numerical proportion of women to men in the university. They may not have that tenacity. They may not have that courage. The aggressiveness may also be lacking. Also, this research also found that women are on many occasions distracted with the demand of the cultural need to get married and have a family, which is the requirement of the immediate society, largely further. It is an established fact that in a Nigerian university to be you must have acquired. So there's this pressure of getting married, which is one of the greatest factors that has reduced the numerical proportion of women to men in Nigerian university. Now, the challenges confronting women as a result of this tokenism, it was found that women experience a kind of isolation and role encapsulation. This implies that they are not given a kind of inclusiveness. There is this role encapsulation, the conclusion that this is the particular role they should be given. This is the notion, they give them a kind of not giving inclusiveness in the Nigerian university, especially in this northern part of Nigeria. Of the women academic are also, they've perceived that the status quo is normal, that it is a normal thing that men should be more than women in Nigerian university, where you see in an entire faculty in a university, you can see 2 in the entire faculty, you can see 4 in the entire faculty, where there are about 30, 25, 40 men. Now, this is the recommendation of the study, that it is pertinent that advertisement should be given purposely for the recruitment of women into the Nigerian university system. It is also pertinent that awareness are provided should not be hindrance. Should not be hindrance to meeting their needs, which is their goal of becoming one of the academic too. Women who are already employed in the university system should be used to entice those whose spirits have been dampened as a result of one societal expectation or the other. There should be an element of equality in assigning responsibilities to all academic staff, irrespective of whether it is male or a female. And on the part of women, they should stop discouraging themselves. They are part and parcel of the society. They are also stakeholders. So no one should treat them as token. Finally, the study concluded. It is the study that actually assessed factors responsible for numerical proportion of women to men. It examined challenges confronting women in the Nigerian university, and also it examined the women's responses to the situation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. There were some interruptions, but there is nothing you should worry about, because I think because of your presentation, I think we got I think almost the full picture. So now I will open the floor. If you have some questions or some comments or some suggestions in terms of methodology, please please feel free. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. I'm expecting questions.
Okay, so you can hear me. Okay, so
Yes.
sorry?
Yes, I can. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay, so I will go on with the. I was wondering if so I think you made a quite nice research and presentation of the situation, but can you maybe give I don't know give some what is the support? I mean, the support and the relations of the support for the women who are in the university. I mean, why this 10 or 20%? Why is it so successful? Is it the support of the family? Do they have money? Is it the education? So I understand all the factors which bring this phenomenon of tokenism into being, but I was wondering maybe what are the elements which support the women who are successful, and maybe this could also be a recommendation just to make them more accessible to the other parts of the society.
It's okay. That is noted, but the cultural notion is very, very low. The perception of women is that she should get married at a point in time in her life, and the pressure is very, very much there. But as time goes on, maybe the society will come to realize the need to provide the assistance, the support for women, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. This has been a major problem. If there is a special support for women, certainly we have come to see that there are women who are going to school now, but after the first degree, that is all. They end up in their husband's house. So when a lady gets married, there is this obstacle of furthering her education, of starting a master's, of starting a PhD. She's assumed as a full wife. She's assumed to take the full role of a wife. So I think this is the major problem.
You know, but I know what is the problem, but I'm wondering what are the carrots, the fact which which allow the women to stay in. So maybe here you could elaborate some more, because I know what are the difficulties, but what would be so not to eliminate the difficulties, the limitations, but to enhance the opportunity structure. So what is it? I understand it's education. Is it,
yes,
is it dependent on what the husband, if the husband allows them to have a university career as a hobby, or are they single women? So what allows them to, so why is it this 10 or 20% still functioning?
I think education matters a lot. Education is a major problem also. Mm-hmm. Education, yes. So if there is this awareness, enlightenment, I think it will go a long way to improve the situation.
Mm-hmm. But these women, are they emancipated, or it's rather they do it like a hobby? So what what is the profile of the 10 or 20%? They don't have they don't have a family, so they.
Many of those who have been able to regulate this challenge, many of those who have been able to regulate this challenge, those little percentage that you have seen are either from a rich family, from an enlightened families, from families that are exposed to the current situations. Those are the percentage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. If you have some other questions.
I'm terribly sorry because I've just joined you in. I had another meeting, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to listen to all your presentation because I was really looking forward to hear it. But I just wanted to ask you a more general question about the attitudes of other women towards those who want to get educated and more emancipated. Because it's not so. I wouldn't say that it's absolute. You know, that it's quite common in many cultures that there are that women are very conservative and do not encourage other women to go forward to be more independent, etc. In many cases, it is the women themselves that try to prohibit the status quo or the existing social order. So my question is, if you can, maybe not directly related to your presentation, but if you can tell us a little bit about the what and if those women who do want to progress somehow in terms of education or other areas, do they have support from other women? What is the attitudes of other women?
Thank you very much. I think another challenge is that women sometimes becomes women's enemy. Those who are actually enlightened are not encouraging those ones who are not enlightened. They are also not giving support of emancipation. Is that they be able to encourage others. But opposite is the case. I just have to be honest with you. One of the reasons they themselves seems to be kind of not giving this full encouragement to those who are emancipated, who are enlightened, are not encouraging the situation.
Okay, I think there was an interruption at some point, so maybe just let's another question. If you can, let's try to if the connection still works. So, what is the main, if not academia? So, where do these enlightened women? What is the main competitive domain for the academia? Where is the flow, the brain drain going? If not in the academia, do they have option to enter some business or some medical career?
Yes, there are civil service. There are civil service job.
Mm-hmm.
There are civil service job, and teaching in secondary school, primary school. But what I'm saying is, some of them are supposed to be in the higher apex of learning. Some of them are supposed, they are competent, they have the tenacity, they have the knowledge to be in university. But they end up in teaching in secondary school, they end up in teaching in primary school. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's where the brain drain is going. You see some of them in civil service where much of their potentiality is not explored.